Hello and welcome to India Today. I am Sanjay Ponnappa.
And this is Maruthi Acharya, and we just completed watching another Sankranti release from Telugu cinema, Anaganaga Oka Raju. Before getting into further details, Sanjay, your experience.
Uh, it was good. I laughed. It is one of those films where the jokes are all healthy. It's not where you look at each other and you're like, oh, mama, that is the joke. None of that. It is all sweet and healthy and it is stereotypical. It is quite standard as well. But at the end of the day, did you have fun with the film? 100% yes.
There is nothing new that the movie is going to offer in terms of story, screenplay, or scenes. But in terms of comedy gags, comedy set pieces, and also the way writer and actor Naveen Polishetty has played through his strengths in the writing and also acting is why Anaganaga Oka Raju is a very good family comedy entertainer for sure. Firstly, positives.
Before getting to the positives, that this is yet another film where logic takes a backseat. Unlike all the other films that we recently spoke about where logic leaves the room or anything like that, here it takes the backseat and there are enough and more instances where that doesn't come. Now, I know there are a few people who gets annoyed when we talk about this logic when we are watching cinema, but we also go into the theaters thinking that yes, this is what it is going to be and we will not let it come into the way. That is how we went, but it also has to be addressed. Now, getting to the positives in the film, like I said, the jokes. The jokes are the best thing about the film. That is what this whole film banks on, in my opinion, and it is good. It has a variety. There are meta jokes, there are references to the actors, there are references to Naveen Polishetty himself. Mama, first fight ra. All of that was it felt good to laugh at, and after a while this is a film where the comedy was wholesome. It wasn't mixed with all these double meaning jokes. It was very wholesome. The experience was something like when we watched Sufram so a while back and how it felt, right? All the family, everybody sitting there and laughing together. It felt like that.
Comedy is the biggest strength of the film because of two reasons. Reason number one, off late, the low hanging fruit jokes that I keep talking about in the reviews are more common in Telugu cinema than the clean comedy where I feel like go to this movie with my family. I know I can have a blast also and cater to everybody. That is the toughest part where jokes are catering to all age groups. Because there's Buliraju characters jokes which really worked for me, which is if you think it is catering to the kids, young audience, family audience. So the movie is catering to everybody and not trying to give any cheap jokes. That is one strength of the comedy in the film. And the second thing is, I think Anaganaga Oka Raju after a very long time had those moments where after the movie got over, while coming back home, you think of those jokes and you have that giggle, you have that smile on your face. That is rare. So a movie which is clean and also has good laughs that you can take back home is a rarity in Telugu cinema. I think Anaganaga Oka Raju, after Jati Ratnalu, Naveen Polishetty attempted another such film and he did deliver.
Another strength in the film is the emotions. Again, let me not mince words. The film is, once again, I'm telling you, is as typical as it gets. But in Anaganaga Oka Raju, this whole rural life, the way of life, the emotions that all these people carry, the hardships, the struggles, all of this is also put forth in a very emotional manner which connects to you. Literally, my experience, there is a whole portion where it does get emotional, right? And during that process, I was like, okay, this is where it is going. I accepted it, and then it moved into, okay, getting a little uncomfortable with the emotions that is on the screen. Then it went to, okay, all these dialogues, now it is feeling like it is a little too much. Oh no, oh no, oh no. And then there are those couple of dialogues which just got me. I was like, oh, this hit me. So there was this whole arc for me personally where the emotions in itself kind of had a story of its own that had a whole arc.
Correct.
So for that, I feel like the emotions in this film is also strong.
Emotions, everything works in this film is because they got the innocence right first, especially when it comes to movies like this, right? Stupidity, innocence. It's a very thin line for you to walk. Sometimes it might go here, sometimes it might go there. So for you to give that wholesome experience where even the emotions land, even the comedy lands, without people not thinking about any character as stupid, the innocence is where the juice is. And I think Anaganaga Oka Raju excels in that innocence aspect of the film. Every character is written with nuance in terms of not looking stupid, but innocent. So from writing standpoint, it is really good to see how they have handled the innocence aspect of the film.
Another thing that I liked in the film is the background music. I wouldn't add the songs into this, just the background score in the film. I kind of really liked it. It went with the vibe of the film everywhere. Whenever the emotions were hitting, the emotional track was also good. When the comedy was going on, the comedy track was good. There was not a lot of, unnecessary folly added into the comedy tracks. It made it more real. The situational comedy was also nice, along with the one liners that went there. So the whole sound design and background score in the film was good.
Like, because it is comedy, some jokes might land, some jokes might don't land, but it is not about the performances, because performances largely land. Everybody, Naveen Polishetty's performance was good. Meenakshi Chaudhary's performance, Rao Ramesh, everybody did their fair share in, making this movie an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, out of this, I feel like Naveen Polishetty was, of course, he wrote it for himself, so he was pulling the weight in the film.
Yeah.
A lot of one-liners, along with his bunch of friends, also a lot of it lands, and it felt like because he was in his genre, it's not that because he was in his genre, he was doing a good job. Irrespective, I feel like as an actor in the Telugu film industry, a certain amount of credit has to go to Naveen Polishetty as well, as someone who has established himself, with the only hope that hopefully there isn't a bigger break after this film and there are more films to come. A little bit of comment about Tarak Ponnappa. I feel like this Sankranti was his
Sankranti, yeah.
with multiple releases. Although honestly, it feels like he's getting typecasted into a certain kind of roles. It feels like he's making a mark with those kind of roles in Telugu cinema these days. Maybe he will break that mold and try something more different or something else. But let's see.
Now, getting to the things that didn't work for me in the film. Firstly, like, I've given enough credit to the writing department. I think Naveen Polishetty and Chinmay got the credits for writing. They've done a phenomenal job when it comes to the writing of comedy and setup. But when it comes to the overall story, screenplay, innovation aspect, right? I think this movie had a lot more potential to be not just a standard film. I think because it is Naveen Polishetty, he could have tried much better things, different situations. Everything is standard. Though the jokes work, at the back of your mind, you know that maybe I might have seen the scene somewhere. Maybe I've seen a setup like this somewhere. Because the conflict is so interesting, they could have involved a lot of new, unique, and different setup and sequences so that the story also will be more impactful than just being a comedy entertainer.
For me, when I think about a demerit in the film, the biggest thing that is right there in front of me is a combination of the screenplay and the editing. There were a lot of scenes in the film where a dialogue or a hoot just ends and then there is an abrupt cut and then you just jump into another scene or you jump into a song. There is no smooth transition between the two, and I bring in screenplay also into this because even in a screenplay there has to be a dialogue or there has to be an ending that leads you to what is going to happen next. It can't be just cut and then something else. They didn't even give enough time for a couple of frames to come in to add that segue or a transition. I feel like that kind of did stay back with me. For me, this is the biggest mistake in the film.
For me, another thing, I wouldn't call it a mistake explicitly, but the integration of social media and how things go viral and how it adds up to the story. That angle, especially that piece of how things go viral and how it changes the narrative, has been overdone a lot. And see, first of all, that idea itself is a very convenient idea to just take this character arcs from here to there. And a lot of movies have already presented it. If they chose something else which is more interesting, compelling, and which is more grounded, I think that would have worked in the narrative better and the story would feel more fresh than what it is right now. Overall, it is a fun film for Sankranti. Standard, regular, typical template. But Naveen Polishetty, the comedy and the entertainment aspect of the film will keep you hooked to the film.
And unlike Manashankara Varaprasad Garu, this film isn't something where, you just don't understand what is going on. Everything is in space level exaggeration. No, this film is quite grounded. You understand the comedy. This is a story that you kind of grew up watching.
Yeah.
So you know what realm it is in. Sit in the theaters, watch it in abandon, laugh with all the people you're going and watching the film with. maybe a single screen experience might amplify it more.
Yes, if you already watched the film, what is your review? Mention that in the comments below. And we did review Bharta Mahashailaka Vignapti, Manashankar Varaprasad Garu, Raja Saab, Parashakti. All the reviews will be on the channel, and if any other movies are releasing, we will cover them also. But overall, what we do, reviews, interactions, teaser, trailer reactions, analysis videos, lot of content. To not miss any of that, please like, share and subscribe. And happy Sankranti.
Happy Sankranti. With that, I am Sanjay Ponnappa.
And this is Maruthi Acharya.
You're watching India Today.